What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo. We're not going to be talking about this actually. We're going to be talking about more so the overall state of the NBA, how I'm feeling one week into it. We're essentially just going to be looking at some of these records, some of what I think to be some of the best teams right now, and just overall some surprises. First off, we have the already immediate surprise. The Utah Jazz are probably one of the best teams right now, and that's just very, very, very enlightening, at least for me. Like a guy like Lowry Markkinen is actually just putting in some work. I think a guy like Colin Sexton, he's not averaging the most efficient numbers, but he's still coming off an ACL injury and he's still playing off the bench where he's getting a minimal role. I do expect him to really bounce back closer to the midpoint of the season. Not only that, but look at the free throw numbers, bro. He's going crazy right now, and I do expect him to really just shine later on. But overall, I do think that's pretty much one of my biggest surprises. Sacramento Kings is actually another big surprise, not necessarily because of one thing or another in terms of their whole team. I think that Keegan Burger is probably going to be a really solid rookie. Honestly, I did not expect him to be this good. 17.5 points are some ridiculous efficiency. Yes, those numbers are probably going to go down, but let's expect, like, if I say that this team is just going to be as good as they are right now, I think that they're definitely a playing team. Definitely better than the Lakers right now because I think that they have possibly a better roster fit. And De'Aaron Fox is just going absolutely bonkers right now. If I were to have an all-star team right now, he's definitely on my all-star team. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, bro. Ever since I got rid of Halliburton, this guy has been going crazy. I've been saying this all year. The reason why you make that Halliburton trade 10 times out of 10, at least if you're the Sacramento Kings, you don't get it for necessarily the return for the most part. You get it because it allows De'Aaron Fox to rub around a lot more than he really should or really was kind of roaming around last year. And I don't think that they were necessarily the best fit. So I think that's pretty solid. Another big surprise is the Portland Trailblazers, at least for me. I thought that like some people were arguing that this is the best team around Dame. I think we can kind of see from right here, they are playing essentially a nightmare roster. And right now, it's looking like Dame is just carrying these motherfuckers. Like, I'm not going to lie, Anthony Simons has been a big disappointment for me. I expected him to be a lot better, especially because he does resemble a lot of TJ McCollum's game. And I do think that that's going to be really good if he's able to provide that type of production without being, let me turn this off, without necessarily him being this massive contract, honestly. And a guy like Jeremy Grant, I expected him to be a lot better. He's not necessarily bad, but he's just not taking the shots. I think that Anthony Simons should chalk up some of these shots to this dude, and I think that Damian Lillard as a whole has just surprised a lot of people. Not me though, not me. I knew about Dame. Y'all didn't. Y'all are talking to me about how Dame is not a top 20 player. Uh-uh. I knew. I knew. But let's look at some other surprises. Honestly, I would say that the New Orleans Pelicans are definitely a surprise to a lot of people, same with the Memphis Grizzlies, but they aren't surprises to me. I think that's it for the pretty much the West. Also, the Denver Nuggets offense is some crazy. This is definitely a surprise, but it's going to be talking about in more the disappointment section in this video. So, yeah. I think that there's not really that much surprises in the East besides the Washington Wizards, but the Washington Wizards actually do have a solid roster. Again, people thought that Bradley Beal was going to take a down year. I don't get it why. And honestly, it's just something to really look at as to why people just kind of write off these players who were just injured last year. And yes, there was a really big thing about a lot of players having a down year, especially in the early part of the season. But that's probably because of the ball. They just had a ball change. And I think that this is just going to, I don't think that that ball was really that big of a deal, especially when players got used to it. Again, they're going through the offseason just playing with the same ball. So they're definitely just going to get used to it, just shooting well. So, yeah, Kyle Kuzma is always having a good start to the season. He had a good start to the season last season, and I expected to do the same. Really solid. I would say that the New York Knicks are also a big surprise for a lot of people, but it's not necessarily for the reason that a lot of people think. My reasoning is that I think that Julius Randle is actually being reminiscent of his 2021 campaign. He's actually doing really well, and I expect him to really just come into fruition this season. And do I expect it to be as good as the last couple of years? Probably not, but he's still doing more than what he did last year, and that's all you really want from him. That being said, there are definitely some disappointments. Again, like RJ Barrett, I think that he should be a lot better than what he is right now. He has yet to hit a single three, and he shot 9 threes thus far, man. Like, oh man, I pray for RJ, man. He's not a bad player, by the way. I'm just saying, yo, I need him to be better. Now, looking at another disappointment for me, at least, it's definitely Chris Paul. Chris Paul shooting 9 attempts at all is crazy. Him only making 3 is even nastier. I'm sorry. Like, Chris Paul, honestly may be washed. And I was very, very hesitant on saying that Chris Paul is washed. But it's looking like it's the case because he's just not having the impact after that Dallas series, man. I'm not sure if it's an injury or anything, but yeah, not looking the best. I would say another disappointment, at least for me. Let me check one thing. I was about to skip past probably the most obvious answer, actually. This dude, or the dudes in Los Angeles, are obviously one of the worst like teams on this planet. I knew about this. They are a top 7 team in terms of attempts. They are the worst by far in terms of percentage. Bro, they got no shooters. No shooters. None of these guys are over 40% besides this dude. None of these guys are over 30% besides this dude. Come on, man. Come on. I had the vision. Y'all didn't. Another big disappointment, actually, is the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, right now, they're actually playing a game. I want to check up what they're doing right now. I'm pretty sure they're actually winning it. But the thing is, they're playing against a tanking team in the pay. Oh, my God. They're that close right now. Yo, if Philadelphia loses this game, bro, this team may be cooked. Let's just look at some of the stat lines. James Harden and Joel Embiid are actually having a decent game together. Actually, James Harden's having like a really, really good game. This is actually a really good game for him. 10 assists on 0 turnovers, like 21 efficiently. Really solid. Joel Embiid, I think he could do a lot better, especially when it comes to the fouls and the turnovers. But, I guess. I do think, though, that if Maxey just kind of went off this game, it'd probably be better for them. But that's not what we're going to talk about. I think overall, the Philadelphia 76ers do have one big problem that I don't think a lot of people talk about. After these 4 players, bro, what does this team offer? We expected a guy like D'Anthony Melton to really just be a spark plug for this team, but honestly, thus far, he's just not been it. And it's very disappointing, honestly. I think that he's going to definitely resemble one of these 2 seasons. But if he's not, bro, like, I'm sorry. This trade was definitely a bust. And Daniel House is just not it anymore. George Niang is definitely providing them spark minutes, but it's not going to be the minutes that you really need, especially when we look at a team that's looking for a contender. Like, they're supposed to be a contender. They're supposed to be one of the top teams in the East. I'm pretty sure a lot of people actually had them the first seed in the East. I don't remember what I had as the first seed, but they were definitely up like top 3 for me. So it's definitely very concerning for me to say that Philadelphia is really bad this season so far. And yeah, also 2 more surprises, actually. Let me just pull them up. I'm also done talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. I just think that they just need to trade for a little bit more depth. I'm not sure if they still have picks right now, but if they do, I'd definitely look at a guy like Jordan Clarkson. I'd look at a guy, I would say Bogdan or Boyan, but he's already been traded. But just those type of caliber players, I think guards would probably be the best, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go for like a couple of wings later on. Like a Rice O'Neal type of player. I think that those are what you really want to look at for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, this isn't a disappointment at all, actually. I do think that this is going to be one of the more surprising things. DeMar has actually started off the same way he started off last year, which is really, really good to see. That's amazing for him, and I think that he just needs to be a little bit better. Zach is also starting off pretty well, but again, he's probably going to shoot a lot better from the 3 point line this season, and yeah. But yeah, I think that these guys are definitely a lot better than I expected. So yeah. Now, I would also say another really big surprise. Actually, I want to see the rookie in Houston too. I forgot what his name is. I think it was Jabari Parker. I actually no. I definitely know it's Jabari Parker. I don't know why I said that. Oh, it's Jabari Smith. I don't know why I said Parker, but he's not shooting the best right now. I think I was thinking about like the dude from Milwaukee a couple of years ago. I think that I was thinking about him, but Jabari Smith again. I think that he's probably just feeling it out. Again, I don't really expect the biggest stuff for rookies, so I'm not saying that this is necessarily a disappointment. I'm just saying that he's probably going to be a lot better than what this really implies. Also, shout out my boy C Wood, bro. C Wood is definitely the second best player on this Mavericks team, yet he's still on the fucking bench, bro. I cannot stand this dude. I cannot stand this dude for benching him, bro. This shit does not make any sense, bro. Look at the stats, bro. This dude is shooting 56-50 on like 5 attempts. Yes, that's a little bit low, but like this dude is averaging 25 points. Like the next highest player on that is Spencer Dinwiddie, and he's averaging a cool 10 less points. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Jason Kidd just got a tee up, bro. Not only that, but he's only playing 24 minutes. What? Bro, he should be playing like 30, bro. I'm sorry. Like, he's definitely a surprise. He'd definitely be on my all-star team if the Dallas Mavericks actually do end up surprising a lot of people, including me. But yeah, did Siakam dunk this? Oh, wow. That's cool. Let me get rid of that because I'm really not trying to get copyright striked. But one of my biggest surprises is actually not Franz Wagner. My boy Paolo is actually him, bro. Like, Paolo is a lot better than anyone gave him any type of credit for. But so far, I'm going to be talking about my not player rankings, but my team rankings. My top 5 of the essentially week that we've seen so far. It's a bit early, but I do want to talk about at least some of the teams that I think are probably the best teams in the NBA. So let me just pull them up real quick. Hold on. Sorry, your boy had to go to the bathroom real quick. Where's the Denver Nuggets at? They're over here somewhere. Yeah. Nah. Because the thing is so early on to the season, there are so many teams that just are very, very contentious in terms of the number 1 spot. That's the reason why the seating is kind of weird right now. If I were to give a 4th spot though, it'd probably be, this is very. I'll just do this. So these are like probably my top 5 teams. If I were to do it in order, let's go like this. Yeah, I think that this is probably the order that I would have right now. Now, the reason why the Denver Nuggets are actually above these two isn't because they've actually beaten the Golden State Warriors, actually. That's not really my reasoning why. I just think that the pace that the Denver Nuggets are playing at right now, especially when they have the guy like Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., they've just been looking like absolutely fantastic. And yes, the defense has not looked the best so far, but then again, they played against the Golden State Warriors. Ooh, let me not do that. They play against the Golden State Warriors. I'm not sure who's the number. Actually, the Pelicans may be the number 1 offense. Wait, who's the number 1 offense? There's no way. Whoa. Who is the number 1 offense in the league so far? There's no way. Let me just look at some of these things. Total stats. No, that's not what we're looking for. All right, offensive rating. Hold on. Oh, there it is. The Dallas Mavericks are the number 1 rated offense. What? Oh, nah. But yeah, no. I think that once the season starts to boil over, this is definitely going to be a top 5 offense, no doubt about it. Especially when we look at the last 2 games, they've been putting up like some monstrous numbers. They put up like 70 some during this half. This game, they also put up like a crazy amount of points. The reason why they're so down is simply because of this game. If it wasn't for this game, they'd probably be up there with the Dallas Mavericks. They'd probably be like 3 or 4.